I'm Rachel, and today I'm going to show you how to expose a nerve on a crab leg for a suction electrode. This is a blue crab, and I'm going to show you how to take its leg off. Sorry, buddy. Right here, and then you just, oh god, pinch.
Just pinched it.
There we go. Sorry, buddy, you donated your leg to science. Alright, so now we're going to try to expose the nerve by cutting windows right here in the cuticle and then about right here. So we're going to cut right here to expose the nerve to put it into a suction electrode to record the data. Alright, so the windows have been cut here. Here and here, and now we're going to cut the cuticle to expose the nerve in saline. So now we've put the pins in the dorsal side of the leg. The nerve is going to run around here, and we want to keep this unpinned so we can monitor the activity of the nerve when we move it. So we removed the muscle there. We cut the tendon here and removed the bottom muscle. And we have to be really careful here because we want to cut the top tendon and not the nerve. Now you can see the nerve. So now the cuticle windows are removed, and we're going to expose the nerve. And we're going to expose the nerve by removing the surface muscles. Okay. To do that, you might have to cut the tendons that hold the muscle. So now we can remove the other muscle and keep the nerve in the segment. The nerve right here. Push it to the side gently. Cut the cuticle out of the way. Just don't cut the nerve. We can remove the cuticle. So if you want, you can move the pins to allow the leg to move all the way. Now we can move the leg all the way open. Now we have the suction electrode in the saline, and we need to pull it above the silver wire. Now we can move things around to place the nerve close to the suction electrode. Gently use the tweezers to pull the nerve into the suction electrode. Don't pinch the nerve, just direct it. And now we're ready to record. Now we want to make sure the dish doesn't move, so we're waxing the edges. So now we want to use a wooden stick to move the leg so we don't bring in the 60 cyclo noise. Alright, so we have two kits from Backyard Brain. This one is Spiker Box that records things like cockroach legs. And this is an EMG, which records the electromyogram. So with a pair of connectors that we got off of Amazon, we're going to fuse these two wires with this wire. It's gonna act as our ground for the saline bath, and then this wire is reactant to this connector, and this one to this wire, and these are going to go into these ports. If we use the EMG, we get 3 connectors. This one is going to be going to the bath, and we only have to pay attention to the inside wiring. And then similarly to the other connector, we're going to use this to connect around the suction electrode, and we're going to use this one to connect inside the suction electrode. You don't have to worry about the outside wires. Okay, you first want a physical connection. Twist the wires together. And then solder it. You want a physical connection, and you want the soldering iron to be hot before you connect them. We don't want the wire to be exposed, so we're going to put wire tape around it. And if we put them together like they are, it won't pull on the solder joint.
Okay. Like this.
Alright, this is now connected to our suction electrode. And now we're going to solder silver wire to the yellow cord to use as our ground cord. So this wire is going to be the ground wire, and it connects in the middle. And then the other 2 wires are going to be connected to the suction electrode. And the green wire connects to your iPhone or iPad, and it comes with the spiker box. And if you have the newer iPhone that is a lightning cable, you can get an adapter off of Amazon. The old iPhone will have a phone jack, which should connect directly to your iPhone. Now we're going to move the leg with a wooden stick.
Okay.
Pencil stick. And then you can see when he extends the leg, there is an activity change. And when he bends the leg, there is an activity change. By changing the speaker, you can change the gain. You can change it by doing it on your iPhone. If you want to record your data, you can by pressing the record button. And then you can play it back, and then you can have it playing back to you. So now we're just cleaning the saline out, and we're going to replace it with 4-aminopyridine. Aminopyridine is incredibly toxic, so wear gloves and dispose of it properly. Okay. And then we're going to let the leg sit in 4-aminopyridine for about 10 minutes and repeat to see any difference. These devices being small and user-friendly, people who aren't able to have access to really expensive equipment are able to use them, and those who are homeschooled are able to take them home and maybe use a different chemical instead of 4-AP. Instead of using a crab leg, if you don't have it, you can use a cockroach or a cricket. You can get them at a pet store or just find them in the backyard. Well, being able to see a crab leg being flexed and extended, students should be able to see what a normal leg should look like. And then you can compare it to how legs or arms that don't have myelin sheath, how their responses differ compared to the one that they're experimenting on. Something to remember during this experiment is that fluorinopyridine has effects with the sensory neurons and the motor neurons, but it's thought that it also has effects with the sensory endings, and that's still being looked upon today.